just before we go live, who's going tomorrow?
In theory, I am.
You're going? Okay.
Me too.
So Uncle Bob, me, Melena, are you going to be with us
Probably not tomorrow, maybe next time.
next time around? Okay, no problem.
I know it was too early for me too, but then I said, what the hell?
Just before we go live, who's going tomorrow? Hold on a sec, guys. Crap. It automatically went live. Okay. All right. We're live, guys. Sorry about that.
Hi, world.
And why can't I mute my monitor? That's ridiculous. Hold on just a sec. I got to find something here. Bonsoir à tous. Good evening, everybody. We are here with the live stream episode number 70, numéro 70. C'est le deuxième de l'année. Non, c'est la troisième épisode de live stream de diffusion live, justement, pour le groupe. C'est la deuxième épisode pour la table ronde. We have with us tonight Marc Allary. Uncle Bob's with us, and we have Melena with us tonight. And so let's start with Mark. You're first on my list. So how's it going? What's new? How was the past month gone? Qu'est-ce que tu as fait en photographie ce mois-ci?
Oh, hey, ça, c'est la grosse excuse. J'ai pris des vacances. Alors, j'ai serré un peu l'équipement photo, puis j'ai pas été trop loin. Vraiment, la seule sortie que j'ai faite durant les fêtes, il y a eu le fameux canard mandarin qui était pas loin de Blainville. Alors, j'ai réussi à me promener avec ma voiture, à parler à plusieurs personnes en chemin pour trouver la place. Alors, j'ai réussi à prendre ce fameux canard-là en photo. Puis le restant, mais là, il y a le fameux club RDP Photographie qui vient de recommencer mercredi dernier. Alors là, on repart toutes nos affaires, nos plans, les thèmes qui devaient être pris dans l'année. Alors là, on est en train de développer les photos. On va même avoir une question pour toi plus tard pour ça. Et à part de ça, mais j'étais pas mal tranquille.
Fantastique. Merveilleux. Oui, j'ai vu la photo, puis on parlera justement de ça à la prochaine épisode, qui est le dernier samedi du mois pour le photo review du groupe. Moi aussi, j'ai tout un nouveau batch de photos à uploader, justement. Puis toi, mon oncle Bob, comment ça va? Qu'est-ce que tu as fait? Je sais je le sais de quelques petites choses que tu as faites le mois passé. I let
Oui.
you take it.
Andrew made me buy a new camera.
It had to be me that made you buy the camera.
Andrew forced me to buy a new camera. It's not my fault. I told my wife it's not my fault. Mais non, j'ai acheté un Nikon Z F avec un 24 120, a 24 120, beautiful lens, which actually I'm going to really test out tomorrow because it's like the first week that I have a chance to do something with it. And but I've been shooting a lot of film cameras. In fact, this week I've been shooting a Miranda Sensor X, and I've been shooting a Nikon FM. So I got a lot of things to develop soon in film cameras, and tomorrow I'm going to play with the digital cameras.
Nice. So you're bringing it on the photo walk tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm bringing it on the photo walk tomorrow, and Nick is going to bring the Z6.
Oh, fantastic.
So we should have a lot of fun.
I'm actually thinking of either bringing the 4x5 or my 4x5 pinhole to try out the direct print. No, what is it? Yeah, direct print paper.
Yeah.
I'm going to see what that's all about. To practice up for the pinhole day coming up in April.
Mm-hmm.
En passant, je veux juste faire un petit shout out to Saul from the rangefinder. people. The 14th, Mark, I think you can check it. It's the 14th of April. It's the Sunday the 14th, the Montreal Camera Show. And again in April, there is going to be the last Sunday of the month, the 28th, is
the 28th.
Worldwide Pinhole Day. N'oublie pas aussi, pour ceux qui regardent, those who are watching, the 8th of April is the solar eclipse. I'm going to be doing a special day at Gosselin, my work here at Zistante at Gosselin Photo. We're going to be doing a special event. We're going to be holding something in the en arrière du magasin, in the back of the store, near EQ3, I think. It's going to be in that parking lot. We're going to be doing a big event there for the eclipse. And evidently the 6th and the 7th, the 2 days before that, is going to be the open house for the college. So I'm going to be doing a whole weekend worth of the conferences I did at the Salon de la Photo, plus workshops right after on each of the subjects. And I'm going to be repeating the demonstration that I did for Bière et Camera Montréal. Hi out to all you guys out there on Bière et Camera Montréal. It was I had a fantastic weekend. Okay, I'm going on here. We still have to hear from Milena. See, did you have anything that you did last month, film wise?
Well, I put a few things on your site.
Yeah.
But that's as of our last walk in November.
Okay.
And after that, I'm waiting to develop all my films because I'm accumulating a bunch of films to develop so that I can make the chemicals and then develop them.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Milena? What's new with you?
So I've also like dived back into film photography, and I tried black and white film for the first time. I got a Kentmere 400.
Yeah.
And I put it in a very frugal camera, as it gets point and shoot, the Kodak M35. And I think one of my shots was in the last live stream. I took advantage of like the snow or the shadows of outside. There was a cat.
Right,
With the
right.
cat, yeah.
Yeah, that's the picture. It was
And you submitted him to Frugal Film
Oh no, I
Project?
have not. I got inspired to like
Oh,
do
okay.
this, but I don't know how to actually submit it or register. I probably need to visit their website if I want to.
Well, it's a
Submit.
Facebook group.
Okay. Oh,
So
okay.
just search for the Frugal Film Project 2024.
Okay.
Sherry just renamed it to this year, and just join, and then you'll be able to share. I'm going to be sharing mine later this weekend.
Okay.
Because as a matter of fact,
yeah,
we developed mine last weekend.
nice.
And I have to say, I have to put a shout out to Rakim. Oh my God, I forgot his name. Aimé. Is it Beauchamp? I forgot his name already, but it's RBA Photography. He was the gentleman who actually, him and Melissa developed a roll of my 120 last weekend, but Rakim developed my Frugal Film project film for January, which I still have to post. But fantastic, congratulations! What did you think of the was it M35 you said you had?
M35. It's quite intuitive to use. It's just I guess I'm not used to winding my own film. It's the first time I like have to do things like that, but it's an interesting it's really interesting.
So we're gonna have to initiate you to using a manual SLR camera now.
Yeah, exactly. I have a sort of automatic SLR. Yes. Oh yes.
Hey, I'll bring you one of mine. I'll bring you one of my Minoltas.
Yes, I would love that. And also I want to try a half frame also.
Yeah.
Ask him if he has a Yashica 124 mat.
Yeah. The question that Uncle Bob asked, yes.
So yeah, great, fantastic, Milena. And as far as I'm concerned, I participated in the Frugal Film project for 2024. I shot Kentmere just like you, Kentmere 400. We did. I did make a little bit of a screw up with the development last week in that I kind of, and it's not Rakim's fault, it's my fault. at all, at all, at all. I take full responsibility. We were talking about HP5 Plus, and I forgot that in the developing tank, I had put a Kent mirror, and Kent mirror 400 specifically compared to an HP5 Plus takes much more. Well, the development time is much longer. It's 17.5 minutes,
Okay.
while the HP5 Plus is only 11 minutes in the developer.
That's right. Yeah.
The images came out. I'm very happy the images came out. They came out a little bit muddier than I expected them to be. But that was my own gaffe. I should have paid more attention to what was in the canister than what I was concentrating on the other 120, which was the HP5. And as a matter of fact, that HP5 120 that I developed. See, you remember Bob Hendricks?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
When we did the family photo there in the
Yeah,
studio? Well, the film that I developed was from 2008.
Okay.
I was shooting my Bronica and I was shooting behind the scenes images of him shooting the models, the setups.
Yeah, yeah.
And I completely forgot that I even had photos of those that week that we were shooting.
Yeah, yeah.
And it turns out that when we pulled it out of the developing tank, I couldn't recognize who the model was until we finally scanned it digitally with my iPhone, and it happened to be a friend of ours, Kat Corrick, who was one of the models, and Jean-Pierre Peruz. Is it Peruz? I think it's
Peru.
Peru. Yeah, no, it's no, me semble c'est Peruz. Anyways, who was another model for another one of the scenes. And I couldn't believe it was. I mean, this was 15 years ago.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah.
And the film is fantastic. It's perfect.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's perfect. It lasted the time that the 15 years rolled up, waiting to be developed. And I know I have at least maybe 2 or 3 other ones in the tanks to be developed behind me.
How about the guy who pulled this film there and you had called me up about it?
Oh, Louis Charles. Yeah, well, finally, Louis Charles texted me back and he said it was perfect.
It was perfect the time I gave him?
Yeah, it was perfect. It was perfect the time you gave him.
Oh, good, good.
So what happened was, my buddy, as a matter of fact, I'm going to be posting, and I have to put a special thank you out there to Gabrielle Savard, an ex-colleague of mine who now works for Sony. She literally videotaped. I think she gave me about 9 different. I gave her my camera, and she gave me 9.5 minute, 60-second clips, which I put all together using Adobe Rush, Premiere Rush. Excuse me. And I'm going to be putting that on the YouTube channel in the videos, so that people can see a little bit what it looked like. Honest to God, it was. I mean, I was blown away just the number of people that were there, and it really didn't go off without. I mean, there were a couple of hitches here and there, but all in all, and I got to put a special thank you out to Francis, who hosted the event. We were there from, well, I showed up at 11:30 and I left easily. I left around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I think by the end we were like 5 or 6 people that were just hanging around waiting for the films to dry so that we could scan them and have everybody have a look at them. And as a matter of fact, I've got, well, this is one of them here. I don't know, you can't see much through the paper here, but
yeah, yeah.
Ça a vraiment été bien. Puis je pense que tout le monde a bien aimé ça. Fait que je vais faire la même chose durant le porte ouverte pour le collège en mois d'avril. Je vais faire un développement. After I do my presentation, I'm going to take a 45-minute hour to show people there on the whole process of developing film. Because really, it's much easier than people thought it would be, especially of the people. And it was really amazing was that there were about 35, 40 people. And at the very beginning of the talk, I asked who here has ever developed film at home or, themselves in a class or anywhere. And there was only Louis Charles, my colleague from Laval, who raised his hand. So what ended up happening was he ended up giving me kind of assisting me throughout the presentation, and keeping his eye on the second person who was developing the 120, while I was working with Rakim on the lab box, which is the automated, well, not the automated one, but the daylight developing tank, where you just put the canister in, you feed in the film, and you roll, and you got to roll it continuously. It was really something. I thought it was a really great.
Ça doit.
and je te jure, for 4 days, my Instagram just blew up on me. People liking the clips and that everybody was posting, and everybody who was there who was doing little video snippets here and there and taking pictures, uploaded them to Bière Montréal, Bière Camera Montréal, to their Instagram feed and sharing it with me. And all to say, I had a blast. I thought it was fantastic. It couldn't have been more fun.
Yeah,
I
good,
hope to
good,
do more
good.
and more of that.
Yeah, oui.
Mark, you said you had a question about development.
Yeah, I have a black and white picture, and I
Yeah.
wanted to try printing on, how do you say, art paper? And I
Okay.
believe, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the name correctly, Alnimur? I'm sorry.
Anemuli.
Huh?
Anemuli.
Animuli? Okay.
Okay.
And they say what printing can take 3 to 5 days and something like that, because I wanted to try a test sheet and bring it into the club on this Wednesday. But I know if I start getting downloading the pictures to where I print them with the delay and things like that, I think it'll be too late. What's the
3
difference
to 5
between?
days.
Well, that's what they say. They say it'll take between 3 to 5 days if I use that type of paper.
No,
Not a fucking word.
I'm surprised because I could understand 24 to 48 hours because it depends what type of paper they're using. Hanemuli has many types of papers. If it's the photo rag,
Yeah, I believe so.
okay, so the photo rag does take a little longer than regular, what we call resin coated paper, RC paper,
Okay.
to
Nick,
dry.
can you give
Okay,
me
and,
that?
I think
the whole
Uncle
thing.
Bob,
hear you.
Uncle Bob is talking at
You
the
wanna try
same time, and it's going over you, AJ.
Okay, I cut your mic for a second. It's okay. I cut your mic for you. You just have to click on the microphone when you want to talk, or your space bar. So sorry, to come back to what you were saying, Mark, is that yeah, the paper does the process is a little bit longer for the drying time, but I can't see 3 to 5 days unless they're really overly chargés avec leur, tu sais, avec leur
Leur livraison ou quelque chose comme ça.
exactement. tu sais.
Okay.
But I know that when we print, it's usually about a day.
Okay. So
You know what I mean?
I'll recheck into that. Peut-être
Calculate
ça.
at least a 24 to, well, I don't know, 24, maybe 30 hours, gros max, là,
Okay.
from the time that they print it.
Okay. Well, thanks a
Okay.
lot. Because
And
I
it's
was kind of curious, is there much of a difference between normal printing paper and the rag paper? I'm sorry, my question's not clear, but
you're talking about you're talking about satin paper versus photo rag?
yeah.
Yes. Like I
And if
said,
you have a beautiful black and white picture, what would you take?
well, you see, personally, that's a hard question to answer
I know.
because for me, I always, when I was in the darkroom, I've always preferred a matte paper. Okay. Evidently, glossy paper has a higher dynamic range, especially for the blacks. Okay. When we
Okay.
talk about black and white on matte paper, it tends to be attenuated a little bit more, and the black's not pure black. It's a very, very extremely dark gray. Okay. Very close to black, but it's not black as it would be on a resin coated paper because the resin coated paper reflects more light.
Okay.
Okay. It's I have samples here. I'd have to show you the differences. As a matter of fact, one of the conferences that I give to the photo clubs is I can't remember the title right now, but it's basically how can I print better pictures digitally, and I have literally the same black and white photo, hasn't been adjusted or anything, just as is, in a matte, in a satin, and in a glossy photo paper. And in the glossy photo paper, the blacks and the very dark grays are all black.
Okay.
Okay. See, what do you think about the matte paper versus glossy paper?
Well, personally, I did both papers when I was developing, and I like them both. But I think the more contrast is the glossy.
Okay.
Absolutely, because once it's done at the time, the blacks are blacker on it. But I think it's more the reflection on the paper, you know.
This up.
And having it being matte, it tends to be more grayish, you know.
Exactly.
So, I don't know. It's hard to say. The problem I find today is that when we print from our printers, we lose out the different, you know, we used to have pearl type paper, we used to have velour, matte, all kinds of finishings, you know.
This up.
Today, you either have glossy or matte
Yeah.
in the printer type thing, unless you go to specialized places, you know.
And another tip, Mark, if you
I
can,
think the black one was right. This is the
Don't
same one as I have there.
send
Okay.
That one here, look, it's got the round one. Look at the thing. It's round.
Where?
Round.
okay, don't send a mix of color and black and white prints. Try to send one order black and white and one order color. And evidently, I'll be honest with you, if you're doing it on the photo rag, and what are you printing? You're printing 8x12s?
10/15s.
10/15, so 10/15s. I would send an even number, because if they're anything like we are, our smallest roll is 24 inches wide.
Okay.
So we want to be able to use that 24 inches. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
if you're sending 8x12s, we ask for 4. If you're sending 10x15s, 2 at least,
Okay.
right? So there's no paper waste.
Okay. Or I'll readjust my pictures to the correct size, because originally they're 2x3s. So
But let me yeah, 2x3s at 10x15 is a 2x3, and 8x12 is also 2x3.
okay.
They fall in the same ratios. Are these test prints or are these actual presentation prints?
Well, I wanted to see the outcome of one picture, because I remember you showing us in some presentation you had printed a girl doing cosplay, one of one of the TV shows that
The Barbarian Queen.
yes.
Yes.
So basically, I wanted to have something in that type of how do you say, texture or feeling to my picture. And it's an old cop car that's in the woods, and I wanted to see how it would come out, you know, like give it more of a negative feel, you know, like a
Right.
darker side and things like that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I can't show it to Mila because we're supposed to do our theme, and basically she'll know that I'm the one behind that picture. So
No, you described it though. It's okay. I didn't hear anything.
no, there's no problem. And anyways, our club is mostly just for fun. So basically,
Yeah.
we don't, there's no $1 million bill attached to it. And Mila's giving us quite a competition lately, so I have to be on my toes.
Good job, Mila.
I believe it. I believe it.
Another point is, because I know that for us, like, we have 3 quality print We have Canon satin. We have voyons, it's called what is it called? It's the metallic. It's a metallic paper, very glossy paper.
Silver
And
tone? No?
no. It's a metallic paper, but it à touche sur la rose, sur le rosé. Okay. Um, very fantastic for desert landscapes and for anything that's chrome metal. It gives a nice kind of a little bit of a sparkly tone to the image. The other thing is also oh, sorry, and then you have evidently you have the Hahnemühle photo rag that we print on, because those two papers, the metallic and the Hahnemühle, are more expensive papers. If you've never used them, I will always say, you know, run a couple of tests 8x12 to see if you like it or not. Because like even like Uncle Bob said, when we talk about matte paper, you are losing a bit of the dynamic range in the highlights and evidently in the shadows.
Okay.
Because it is a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? It's that les noirs sont atténués. It almost looks as if there was a kind of like
a smog over them.
Yeah, like a smog, a fog, or you know what I mean?
Okay. No, I appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot. You know, so basically, I should almost go with glossy for that picture because, but it's like I wanted to test that paper once and for
No,
all.
absolutely.
To me, that would have been the picture for it. You know.
And the only way is to test.
Yeah.
At the beginning, the only way to test is to test and see which ones you prefer. You know,
Is
I
it-
remember the first year I started printing over here, I had pounds of paper coming in and going back out into garbage until I figured out which ones I liked. See?
Okay.
Is it passing through an enlarger, Mark?
No, it's it would be printed in
Inkjet.
basically a store and things like that. So
Okay. Yeah,
it's
don't
not
stop.
film, it's digital.
Okay.
It's digital. Okay.
As a matter of fact, I ordered some. I'm hoping. I hope it's going to be coming in soon. I ordered some Ilford. What's it called? It's the Art 300 fiber-based paper. I don't know if you remember that from your day.
Fiber-based was expensive at the time. I might have had a few of them, but that's
Okay.
you know the standard I used to use was the Ilford
Multi-grade.
the name, the multigrade. That's it, the multigrade, and the AGFA equivalent, and those were my two papers. Like
Actually, my next paper that I'm going to try in the darkroom is we had a pack of 25 8x10 Kentmere. But the Kentmere, I believe it's an RC paper, and it's a semi-gloss, or I should say, I guess it's their equivalent of a pearl.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
J'ai hâte à voir qu'est-ce que ça va donner ce papier-là, because I've never used Kentmere paper. Well, Kentmere is made by the same company that makes the Ilford, is by Harman.
Yeah, exactly. But today's papers compared to our day, we had to make a glossy sheet. We had to put it on a stainless steel heater to make the gloss come out of the paper.
Really?
Yeah. So today, the gloss is made into the paper.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that's a big difference, because we had, if you didn't pass it on the metal plate, the stainless steel metal plate,
right,
you would get a semi-gloss.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know that thing I showed you with the tarpaulin over it?
Yeah.
If you didn't pass it in that, you'd get a semi-gloss out of what they call the glossy paper.
Okay. I'm trying to get one on my browser here to show everybody what it is. What are they called? Photo paper dryers.
Print dryers, yeah, print dryers. Or glossy print dryers.
Print dryer. Or glossy.
What is the real benefit of
photo paper?
See
if that does it.
In Indiana, a research project is underway to better understand the
Oh, I think I got it.
between sleep and the ability to learn and adapt. The subjects are
By the way,
seen
if
in
anybody has
Plant's
something you want to
closest
share on your screen,
biological
you can
relatives,
also, you all
the
can share,
orangutan.
each of you. Oh, I don't know if it
The
looks like
zoo
this, see.
offers a unique opportunity
You see this one,
to
Evan?
observe the animals day and night.
Although it's
A little bit, hold on. Does it look anything like this one?
University of Toronto studies the sleeping habits of primates. For him, these are perfect conditions to test if a good
similar, but not exactly. Usually it had a roundness to it. I see the one that you're seeing there, though. I see it on my list here.
Yeah,
It's part of it, yeah. But
that's a flat one, I think.
yeah, that's a flat one.
Hold on. Well,
Probably if you put in just darkroom print dryer, you'd get more
Yeah.
of the other ones.
so darkroom.
Print dryer.
AJ, I put something on your messenger.
Identical
Okay.
phasing, and the cycle's identical.
Hold on. On
yeah,
my
just like the first primates are likely.
well,
to-
it's
Samsung-
maybe
Oh, wait a
if
minute. You know what? Hold on, hold on. I just
Yeah.
if we just go with an image, and we should
Yeah.
be able to see it.
AJ, try
Yeah.
drum dryer.
Cognitive edge.
Yeah, that drum dryer is good, and these here you have them here. You see, I had one basically like the third one, Premier thermostat print driver.
This one here.
Yeah, that one there.
Okay.
Basically, that's basically what I use to
Now the
to
glossy goes on the stainless or goes on the.
make the papers. Yeah, no, the glossy goes on the stainless. When I would dry matte, I would use the same thing, but I would put the image to the linen.
To the linen. Really?
Yeah. And the reason why we use that is because it would dry nice and flat, and
Okay.
it would dry a little faster than if you hung them up only.
Okay.
Yeah, like the one that you're showing there on the side is that one is very similar to the one I had.
This one here.
Yeah.
So then your recommendation to me, as I'm starting out again in the darkroom, is
Mhm.
better for me to go with an RC paper or go with a fiber paper?
It's a good. I would start with the RC paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would start with the RC paper.
To stick with the RC and then.
That RC is resin coated, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I would start with the RC paper, see how it dries, see how it flattens. Because you don't want to, if you don't have something to flatten them out like that machine, because that machine's a little bit like an iron, right? It heats it
Right.
up and it flattens it out.
Okay.
If it's glossy, it sticks it to the image on the stainless steel chrome surface,
Yeah.
so it makes it glossy. But the point is that it heats it up, so you've dried nice and flat.
Okay.
If you're just hanging them up and they curl or they take on shapes you don't really want them to take on, then try the paper. See,
Okay. But
but
quality wise, which one do you prefer?
well, it depends on the shot. It depends
Okay.
on the shot. Generally, the RC paper served me well.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm sure I used fiber paper a couple of times, but image wise, it went with the image. I didn't see that much difference,
Okay.
because like everything else, like today we correct it with computers, but now it's not. In the darkroom, we would correct it with exposure, larger exposure.
Right.
So it would take 30 seconds more or 30 seconds less. See, you know what I mean, to get the same result on either paper.
Okay.
Because what you're looking for in a black and white shot is the contrast. You're
Right.
looking to either make it high key, low key, or keep your gray tones.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And if you're doing that, you can basically do it with any paper that, like a mid paper because otherwise you need poly contrast filters.
Okay.
You know what I mean? To go out super high or super low.
And that you've done before.
Yes, I've done before. I had a whole set of poly contrast filters
Now, the poly contrast filters you're talking about, again,
for the
are those
enlarger.
little square brown
Yeah.
filters.
Yeah, for the enlarger.
Okay, I have 4 sets.
good, good for you.
I have 4
Hey,
sets.
good for you. And you just got an enlarger now.
Hey, Uncle Bob, I'd
Yeah.
like to know, does AJ owe you a camera so maybe you could borrow some equipment for your place?
Yeah, that would be a good idea, Mark. See, I like a guy like that.
I got equipment to go around.
and you know what, eh? And he tells his wife that Uncle Bob bought this, and
It's
Thanks, T.
and really I did, but you know, I'm trying to save you, Andrew.
Yeah, okay. But I have to
But,
admit, though, I do have to say a very big thank you to the 2 or 3 photo clubs who have literally donated
Stuff
their
to you,
equipment
for
to me.
sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
mean, you know, I'm paying them back with conferences, so for me that's just time, you know.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
you
No,
know,
exactly.
C'est vraiment, it's I never would have thought that there'd even be a possibility of getting back into film photography, but to be able to go through the process of, you know,
Yeah.
not just developing the film and scanning it, but actually being able to finish the whole process in a dark room.
Well, honestly, if I wasn't the age that I am, I would love to start a dark room. You know, I would love to go back into my dark room. It
Yeah.
was like a sanctuary.
Yeah.
You know, it was beautiful. You know.
I mean, even me right now, my dark room is a little bathroom downstairs over here with the shower and whatever. But it's, you know, you close the door, you turn that red light on, and everything. And I do it evidently because it's the bathroom. Also, I do it once everybody is close enough going to bed and everybody's asleep. So, you know, the everything's calm. You know, you hear a little bit of ventilation or whatever. But
Yeah. No, exactly.
so in the darkroom, you say you put a red light. Are there any films sensitive to that red light?
well,
Or
see, paper is only sensitive to UV light.
okay.
It's not sensitive to the red light. Film is,
But
except
film
ortho.
is exactly. Yeah, film is.
Yeah.
Film has to be done in complete darkness.
Okay.
Exactly. Except, although I haven't tried it, apparently, see, orthochromatic
Yes.
is only sensitive to blue light.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you, I didn't try it myself.
You tried infrared though.
Yeah, I tried infrared, yeah.
Okay.
But infrared, I would still do it in the dark because once you're used to doing it in the dark,
Right.
you know, now we do it in bags, in black bags. But in my day, I mean, I didn't have black bags. I did it in the dark, literally.
Okay.
You know, and once you got used to it, I mean, I did everything in the dark except for the printing, naturally.
Right.
You know.
Well, as a matter of fact, the glass plates that I have for the dry plate is also blue light sensitive. It's not red light sensitive. So apparently, the guy who makes them told me, he says, you load your film holders directly in the red light, and you'll have no problem with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate.
Like, c'est ça.
I never, like I said, had the opportunity to, you know, to try it, even if they said it. You know, I did develop color slides. I did develop color film.
Yeah.
And I always did it in the dark.
And your color slides you printed
After on agrichrome, Ciberchrome by Agfa, yeah.
Right.
But when I did the Ectochrome slides, E6 process,
yeah,
I did that in the dark room, and I started always in the dark, complete darkness, you know, until they were in the bobbins there.
Okay.
And then when they finished, well, you know, and then I could pull it out once everything, the fixer and everything was over.
Now your Cibochrome was from your Kodachrome films.
Yeah, Cibochrome was from any slide I wanted. It could have been from Ectochrome, could have been from my Kodachrome. It's because I shot 95% slides with Kodachrome, and maybe 10% with other stuff like Agfachrome or Ectochrome, or you know what I mean, whatever I wanted to try. See?
Because Wait,
They
sorry.
each had their coloration. The Kodachrome was the warmest.
Yeah.
Ektachrome tended to be had a little bluish
Okay.
tinge. Was good for sky shots and things like that. Fujichrome was good for landscape
Okay.
because it had a green texture to it, a
Okay.
green tint. And Agfachrome was very contrasty.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a beautiful film, but it was very contrasty. So
What
Would there be
in
attention?
what attracted you to well,
Kodachrome?
diapo to slide photography versus negative photography
Communication.
Because
or negative film?
okay, that's my opinion. Is
Yeah.
that what happens when I in our day we had Kodacolor, okay, as a
Okay.
negative color film. Okay, before they came out with the professionals and all that stuff there,
Right.
it was you had basically Kodacolor.
Okay.
Kodacolor, if you got nice negatives and you send it to a laboratory that didn't know how to do it, you got what they send you back.
Okay.
You didn't have the crispness of a slide. You didn't have the mechanism. Whereas the slide is developed once. It's exposed once through your camera,
Right.
and then it's developed once.
Okay.
So the guy who develops it, and usually Kodachrome was developed by Kodak,
Right.
so usually it came back impeccable.
Okay.
So he couldn't screw up. He couldn't, like take that thing and like he exposed it too much with the enlarger or didn't expose it enough. You know what I mean?
There was no
So-
misinterpretation.
Exactly. See,
Okay.
that's why I love slides. And what we
I
saw.
always thought it was because you could project it so much bigger than what you could print.
Well, no,
I never
yeah, well,
thought of the fact
that's
that the
a part of
process
it.
was
That's a
more
part of it.
precise.
Yeah, it's
That's-
that it's more precise. If you look at any slide, look at the depth of it. Some of the slides I brought the other day when Mac was there, and I think Mila was there too. They were 40 years old, 50 years old. You know what I mean? They didn't fade. They didn't.
Yeah,
Nothing.
you
You,
don't
you know,
think.
you know what I mean? They were beautiful, and that's the way I got them back in the mail from Kodak. He said, "See?"
Okay.
So that's why I like it. Whereas if I take a negative that I took 40 years ago and print it today, it might be better, it might be worse. I don't
Okay.
know,
Right.
because it's a secondhand thing being done to it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And besides, how many times can we have? I mean, I remember when, when I used to project my slides. After 30 slides, people would like, "Okay, that's
Oh, but
enough."
oui. Of course.
you know.
Of course. To go through 8 carousels of 80 slides, where some photographers just didn't sort through their images to pull
No,
up
say
bad
so, say
ones.
so, say so.
See?
And that's one thing I always did is that no matter what film I shot, black and white, color, slides or whatever, even digital, avant que je le montre à quelqu'un, je l'ai trié.
Okay.
Okay, j'ai passé à travers and I looked at them and I says, okay, this is a no, this is a no, this is a no, this one, okay, this one's a yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because ultimately, everybody takes pictures, good and bad.
Mhm.
But it's the ones who show everything
Yes.
don't get the photography part of it.
And I'll be honest with you, I find, and this is not a reflection on my students or anything like that, but digital photography, that I find is a big problem.
It is.
Because we're a society of more is better when it's not.
No.
Right?
No.
I remember, and I can't believe and I had no idea Dad had them in the garage, but I recouped all of my old negatives from grade 5, 6, secondary, sec 1, sec 2, right up to sec 5. And I still have notes on my contact sheets of the ones that I just barré because they just didn't make it. And unless it was a school shoot where I completely forgot that for McLaren, I shot the class shots.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. And literally, if I would have taken 2 or 3 just to, cover my butt.
Yeah.
Only one was circled.
Exactly.
Period. Just
Exactly.
That's it,
Exactly.
And I'll be honest with you. One of the reasons why I decided this year I was going to stop altogether commission photography was because I was tired of constantly being not harassed, but constantly being asked, give me more, give me more, give me more. You have my best shots. What do you need more of that?
No,
The
exactly.
customer expects to have so many shots. Yeah, but what do you want me to tell you? To promise a customer 1,000 shots of a wedding, it's ridiculous.
It is. It is. It
That's a
is.
lot.
It's a lot of
It is.
photos.
In
They'll
our
go through the first 100 and never get past them.
That's right. That's right. A wedding, especially a wedding is a story. You got to tell the story.
Yeah,
How many photographs do you need to tell the story?
exactly.
Generally, listen, in our day, we would take at most, 10, 36 rolls.
Okay,
That's
360
300.
shots.
That's 360 shots.
Yeah.
We didn't see them until they were developed.
Okay.
So half the time we were praying that we got at least 100 or 75 shots that are good.
Okay.
But I mean, that's it. And generally, a part of if you made some major mistakes there, generally you would get enough pictures to satisfy the client.
Right.
And j'en ai fait des mariages. J'en ai fait au moins une centaine.
Okay.
And then I said, that's it. They're way too stressful. And my wife would say she'd have to bring around my case and, my second camera and my lights and all the stuff. So I eventually stopped it. But today, with the digital camera, en plus, you see it right away. Is the shot good or no good? You see it. Prends en 5. Okay. Choose one right away. You know what I mean? That, so that's the part that I think is bad today too,
And it instills a certain amount of, what's the opposite of confidence? A certain amount of
insecurity.
Thank you. Insecurity.
Yeah, good word. Yeah.
Because you're always shooting more to make sure you got the shot.
Yeah.
But it's like I tell a lot of people too, especially when it comes to wildlife photography. You're shooting 30 images per second, but if you miss the second, you got 30 bad shots.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Right.
And then you've got cameras that shoot 120 shots. Well, listen, we're a little bit too fast on the trigger, and you have 3,000 shots that you can't use.
Exactly. I always say a photograph has to be set up.
Yeah.
At least have the base of what you want, and then you wait for it.
Exactly.
And then when you're close to it, then you start shooting.
Aren't they like like the crocodiles or the alligators? They stay still, and then they open them out and.
That's right. When it's time, they go and chop at it.
Exactly. And even with the young man I was with today, and I go back to this. I don't know how many times I go back to this in a week, but Henri Cartier-Bresson, he said it, first of all, the exposure is set. After a certain point in your apprentissage, exposure is automatic. Right?
Absolutely.
What I search for a specific in the sense that I look for a certain type of a background.
That's right.
And his whole thing was, now I wait for the human condition to pass through it.
Absolutely. I'll tell you one shot that impressed me a lot, and it's Mac's shot of those 3 ducks with their ass in the air.
Yes.
Okay. And it impresses me because it seemed to be a shot that was thought up. You were waiting for that.
I have to be honest. Yes, you're right. When I rethink of what happened throughout the whole scene, where you have 1 duck going down, 2 ducks, the 3 ducks that go down, wow, it's out of the ordinary.
Absolutely.
So I sort of had to place myself, and I had to wait. I took many shots that the timing wasn't right, and to happen to that one. So basically, to maybe get that shot. Maybe I took 5, 6 of them
That's
before I
okay.
got that shot.
Yeah.
I was trying to sort of get the condition of where the ducks would all go at the same time. And
Right.
I can't ask them to sort of collaborate. So basically, you
It was
wait for it,
patience.
and then you press the shutter and hoping that happens at the right time, and it happened. So it wasn't done at comme on dit, une mitraillette, but
No.
I've used la mitraillette mode where I do something that usually has a very fast action. And okay, I think okay.
Yeah, there it
I was
is. Yeah.
wondering.
That is an excellent shot.
So,
Excellent shot in every respect. Technically, the shot is the composition is beautiful. The colors are right. The light is right. Beautiful shot.
well,
Depth of
thank
field
you.
is fantastic. I mean,
Yes,
you know,
depth of field is excellent for that type of shot. Beautiful.
exactly. And you know,
Congrats, Mark. It's really
your focus on this one is fantastic.
It's perfect. It's vraiment it's and the way it's set now, it's a beautiful. Here, take a look, Nick. My son's gonna take a look at it too.
Nice.
Beautiful shot.
Hey,
Nice, and
Nick.
it's all pictures of their butts, huh?
Yeah.
I like that.
The title of the piece is called "Mooning the Photographer."
No, it's a bad shot, Mark. But when I saw that, I said, "Boy, that's the type of photography I love to
Yeah.
see." You know.
And I tend to want to, in my photography, I've always been serious all my life because of the type of job I had, and couldn't do the clown and have fun. So,
Yeah.
except AJ knows me because he grew up with me, so he knows I can
Oh, really?
I can really party when the time comes.
Yeah.
In my picture, I want people to see the picture and maybe have a smile. Say
Exactly.
it won't
So-
be an award-winning picture, but at least people have a smile. Say,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's the way I won.
I agree. It's a beautiful shot,
Yeah.
and comme je te dis, it impressed me from the first time I saw it.
Well, thank you.
So- No, but
Fantastic job there, Mark.
it comes back to what we're saying. You know, to a certain extent, you have to have patience. There's nothing wrong with taking 5 or 6 shots to get to your shot,
Yeah.
but to take 500 shots to get to your shot, then there's a problem.
Quelque chose qui manque.
Then there's a problem. You might as well be a cinematographer instead of
Exactly.
You know.
And
Put the
and-
frames together, get an animation.
Yes, it's
and the thing is you got to not, you know, I know, you know, especially today, you know, this whole culture of what's called FOMO, fear of missing out. You know, I always explain, especially to beginners, that, you know, we're human beings. Our eyes are in front of our head, right?
Yeah.
They're in our face. They're in front of us. We rarely think to photograph what's behind us. So, you know, that I just brought up 2 points, but our eyes are in front of our face, therefore we miss out on a lot of stuff happening behind us. So what I capture what I see. Evidently, once in a while, I got to remind myself, hey, what's behind me? Right? But we're not meant to see everything 360 degrees around us either. If that was the case, we'd have 300, you know, we'd have
Yeah, we'd have
binoculars.
eyes. Yeah, we'd have eyes like a fly or
Exactly.
something. Yeah.
So, you know, yes, you're gonna miss shots. Yes, there's things, you know, I never forget one excursion I did it. I believe it was street photography. And
Sorry,
the
AJ.
volume is a little high there.
Sorry, AJ. There's someone who has the volume going up too high.
Hold on. See, is that you?
I don't know. Can it be? Is it me?
To understand
Hold on. Yeah. We're hearing the TV. You're muted. There we go.
Do you hear it now?
Now it's
Do you
good.
hear it now? No.
Now it's good.
Okay.
So we're doing a street photography, and I'll never forget, we were on St. Catherine Street in St. Philip Square, and I caught something just off to my right, and there was another student who captured this little girl, must have been about I don't know, 4 or 5 years old, with one of those, you know, those umbrellas that cover you and you see through it like it's clear plastic.
Yeah.
And she's in a raincoat and she's crossing the street with her umbrella, all proud about her umbrella because it's got little designs on it and this. I totally missed it.
Oh,
And the student that caught it said, "Look at that. Something that the teacher didn't even see and totally missed." I says, "Ben oui." Say, "Sir, I was looking the other way."
Right.
There are certain moments that, you know, we just can't capture because we're just not looking in that direction.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know, it's not to say that, how can I say it? It's not to say that it's don't be discouraged because you miss those moments. Be aware
No.
that you missed them so that you can later on be more attentive to what's going on around you.
Well, that's what photography is all about. You know, when I was a kid, photography taught me to see the world and to look at it in detail. That, you know, that today we just look at our phones, but you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
pas même chose, eh?
Exactement.
But another thing I wanted to mention is that none of my cameras, digital or otherwise, were ever on continuous. They were always on single shot.
Yes.
mhm.
And there's a reason for that. The reason is because I don't want to take 10 shots of something without me deciding if I want to do it. I'll do it if I want to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? The only time I'll use continual shots is if I'm photographing race cars or something like that, you know. But otherwise, it's single shot. You know, if I'm good enough, I take the shot. If I'm not good enough, I don't get the shot.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I was shooting today in this park over here on the other side of the 10 from the discount. I want to see if I can get this to be the right ratios because my big screen over here, it seems that the resolution is too high for the video, but I'm going to show you this shot. So this is the shot. And one of the subject I wanted to bring up with you guys was I've been hearing it for the last, I don't know, I'd said since Christmas at least, on a lot of the podcasts that I've been listening to. And it's how a photographer captures how a photographer a lot of the time has to capture moments of a mundane world and make it as interesting as possible. Mundane meaning just blah.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
everybody,
tone. Yeah, the tone of it is mundane.
yeah, the tone of it is mundane. So does everybody see this
Yes.
shot here? So we were walking down this trail in this park, and evidently, I don't think we can see it here because I really zoomed out to show everybody what it looks like from far.
Yeah.
And what I was trying to tell now that if you can see here, there's some kind of a tractor thing here.
Yeah.
There's the hydro pole with the I can never remember what those damn things are.
Those
Mark, you
are,
can
yeah.
tell me.
Former.
Transformer, thank you.
Transformers, yeah.
And what I was trying to get was really trying to get this area here with this person coming. Now, evidently, the person's way too far away, and I only had my 2070.
There they are.
Okay, but of the shot, this seems to be the nicest crop.
Well, wait a minute now. Hold on. So what
Okay.
I did was from this shot, okay,
Yeah.
I went to this shot.
That's a nice shot too, but it's not the same type of shot. But it's a nice shot.
Well,
It's a nice crop too.
I mean, what I did was I tried to remove all of this. Now, I didn't move. I stayed
No,
where
no,
I was also,
yeah, same place. Yeah.
right?
I get it. Yeah.
So what I did was I took the path using this side of the to bring us to
The stop sign, yeah.
the stop sign here. Now, this is straight out of the camera. I haven't done any of this image. There might be a little bit of adjustment I would do to brighten up a little bit more the stop sign over here. And that comes to another point. But before I get to that point, what do you guys think about when you photograph the mundane world we live in, how do you go after your images? Who wants to go first?
Let's vote for Uncle Bob.
Yeah.
Well, the best I can say, okay, is naturally I'm going to call it the crop, but you're cropping with first of all, your first crop is in your camera.
Yep.
Okay. When you look through that rectangle or that square, whichever kind of camera you're using, you're cropping whatever you see. Okay. And then you have to decide which crop you're going to take, first of all. And then naturally, if you zoom in or zoom out, that's a form of cropping also.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I try to do in mundane scenes is find one thing. Could be a branch. It could be, depending on like a scene like you just had there. It could be the stop sign. It could be a branch. It could be the transformer if you're looking at it on the other side. You know what I mean? That brings up that attracts your eye.
Okay.
Okay, because ultimately that's the only thing you can do with a mundane shot is have something to try and attract your eye to bring it to someplace. And then there's some mundane shots that you just go high key.
Right.
And you do the high key on purpose to bring it again to whatever you want to show.
Trying to pull up another one here. Hold on a sec. I got to see what the
unfortunately, I'm not on my computer. I'm on my laptop.
Okay.
Because on my computer, I could show you some shots that, you know, what I'm talking about. But on my laptop, I don't have nothing.
Here, what about, okay, so this is one shot. Give you this one. Oh, Mark, did you have something you wanted to show too? Well, step in any time there, eh?
Yeah, don't put it all on me now.
Not an easy subject, AJ. I repeat that once more.
Yeah. So here, this was this was some kind of a pine tree in the park, and the knots in where the branches were interesting enough, but I didn't like all of this white here behind and the stop sign, evidently, right?
Well, I'll tell you, personally, I think it's a nice shot. Okay. And I think it's a nice shot a little bit because of the white.
Really?
Yeah. And because of the white and like, especially the tree on top, the stop sign is neither here nor there.
Okay.
But the top feuillage there.
You see?
Yeah. Yeah, there, exactly. The top feuillage adds to the photograph.
Okay.
Because you're looking at basically a tree that looks like it's been amputated, which it has.
Right.
But it's not dead.
Right.
So some of the feuillage gives it life again.
Okay.
The white.
What about this one?
I like better the
I moved around and I used this tree here to give it more of a finished look. See,
personally, I find
having that white has a tendency of making the eye escape to the right. You don't find?
But that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it.
The main contrast, right, between the foreground, background. It's like
and I find that the main amputation is that big one.
This one here.
So it brings your eye right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Because this one here,
I would have. See, this one here takes away from that. Now it highlights the other two amputations.
Want the color? Okay, here.
Yeah. See, this one now highlights the other two amputations, not the big one.
Right.
Because there's no more contrast. Well, there's not enough contrast between the big amputation and the side.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Let me see. There's one. I think there's one more. No, that was just the knot. Okay. Okay.
No, that's my opinion, though, Andrew.
No,
You know
no.
what I mean? It's
No,
not.
no. Listen,
Subjective.
I see so many other people's photos. Sometimes it's nice to have people,
Yeah,
talk about my own.
yeah.
Let me just see. There's what else did I shoot today? Um,
Well, didn't Mila have something to
Yeah, I
show?
think,
Oh,
I
yeah,
had a
Mila.
couple of shots.
Okay.
I
Do you
don't
know how
know if
you know how to share your screen?
yes,
Okay, go ahead.
mine is a little different, I guess. Finding the beauty in the mundane world, I kind of look for like a sub-world in
Okay.
the big world. If I can say that, let's see if
Well, that's a good point. No, that's a good point.
Okay, so here's one that I took. Just in the kitchen, just a regular boring day. Everybody's going on with their business, and then people don't notice like the little things that happen. Which is
Absolutely.
like one is like this little tiny ant that I guess stole one of our breadcrumbs and
Okay.
is kind of going away with it.
Can you double click on it to open it up larger?
Does it?
Or
Does
maybe
it?
you shared the wrong screen.
What do you see right now?
We just see
We
the
see just
thumbnail.
thumbnails. Yeah.
Oh, thumbnails?
Yeah.
That's strange. That's not what I'm seeing.
So do Alt S again, share again.
Okay, let me stop my share screening.
Yeah. Open up the photo
Okay, let me open the photo.
and then share that window.
Oh, I see. Okay, maybe that's what happened. Let's do this. Share screen. And
There we go.
Ah, nice,
There we
nice
go.
shot.
Perfect. Look,
Okay.
beautiful shot.
Nice shot. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it was like I guess a mundane day in
Yeah.
the kitchen.
That was
Everybody's
this
eating.
that was this winter?
This was no in the summer I did
Okay.
this. Yeah.
The,
Bugging you.
the only thing that personally I find is the vignetting is a little too dark,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but besides that, it's a beautiful shot.
And I like the fact that that black line
Yeah, yeah, nice.
lines up directly with the ant.
Yeah, it's like pointing at him.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it is, and it's like this ant is trying to climb up this big wall, which is about an inch thick.
Yeah. It was like a breadcrumb or so leftover from our meal.
Yeah, c'est ça.
It's bigger than the ant itself.
C'est ça. But a real nice shot.
Very
it's a
nice
good
shot.
shot.
Very
Yeah,
nice
That's what
shot.
I think about,
Elena.
like finding in a Monday, like the beauty, I guess, like a different world than what you're living in, maybe.
Well,
Of course.
Mila, I photographed my lunch so many times.
Okay, I don't know if I have another shot. Let's see.
Because once it's 8, it's gone.
Oh yeah, exactly. Okay, I don't know if I can.
Pull
Okay,
your cursor. Oh, yeah, there you go.
okay. Okay, so this was, I think it was done on a photo walk. It wasn't this year.
Okay.
It was like kind of a gloomy fall day.
Yeah.
And this I looked at this moment, it was the golden hour, and I think that kind of interacts with the foliage in the autumn.
Right.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
thought
It's a nice shot.
nice to
It's a
see
nice
like
shot.
the sunlight interacting with the leaves, and also I don't know if this is like a terrace from the nearby shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
has this similar color to the leaves as well. So I thought that was maybe in
Yeah.
the theme of looking for
No, very nice shot.
mundane.
Yeah.
Let's see what else I got here. Okay, so this was in the
Oh.
backyard.
So selective black and white, or I should say selective color.
Exactly. I think I was trying some settings on my digital
On your
camera. There's
camera?
On
so
your
many
camera?
settings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know how to use all of them, and I was trying this.
Now, I gotta ask you, Malena, that was with a Nikon, right? Nikon digital?
Yes.
Yes, because Nikon digital is the only one who has selective color like that.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
does?
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's right.
And just this is not you, but I'm just going to point out, because it was done in the camera, you'll know, oh, you can't see my cursor, but just under the cardinal, you'll notice there's a bit of pink.
Yeah. right at the
Oh,
bottom.
Yeah, yeah.
Right at the bottom there. That's because the camera calculated that as part of the red that you selected for the cardinal.
Yeah.
okay. Cool.
If you would have done the same thing in Photoshop or Lightroom, then you could have you would have been precisely on the bird and not on the
On the feuillage, but
Yes, c'est ça exactement. But
it's a nice shot though. It's a nice shot.
I just took a couple of shots. I don't know if they're didn't really. I mean, I didn't do too much editing on them, but
no.
I would have, I would have cropped it a little bit closer.
yeah,
but
here it's straight out of the camera. I didn't edit it at all.
No, yeah, it's so. No, but it's got a lot of potential.
Yeah, maybe cropping it. I don't know.
Yeah, cropping it would help.
And bring the bird a little bit down to the left.
Exactly. Yeah.
Left.
Yeah. Okay. Now, a little less cropping than
less
that.
crop.
Yeah, less. Okay, but okay,
Less.
okay. Yeah, and left now.
And turn it. Yeah, drag it to the left.
I guess
Okay,
I can't
no,
do
she
it
can't.
here.
Yeah,
I
she can't
probably
push it
need
there.
to
Yeah, okay.
put it in
Yeah,
an
yeah.
editor to do that. But
But basically that area would be fine.
Mhm. Yeah.
See?
Yeah, I look for I guess maybe a more mundane kind of blah scene and maybe something to enter it. I guess.
Well, you know, I was taught when I went to school in photography, I went in communication arts, that you can make a photograph in any place, in any situation, in any place.
Yeah.
So it's just that we have to look for it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And no matter where you are, I mean, you know, you make a photo. I photographed my backyard like 500 times.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, and say each photograph is different. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Let me see if I can.
Yeah, I had the whoops.
Oh, nice shot.
Yeah, here's
Oh,
like
I like it. Nice shot.
my
Nice crop.
backyard.
Nice crop. Everything. Very
And
nice
this
shot.
is a stray cat that decided to sleep on my barbecue.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Yes. So I said,
Sunbathing.
it's a regular
Well,
busy
that's it.
day, and suddenly there's a cat that comes into the scene and decides almost, well, I don't know if it's camouflage, but it's similar color to.
You put food, he knows where the food is.
Gosh,
A sec.
it smells of sausages
No,
cooking on the barbecue.
Really, it's a nice shot.
Okay, yeah, these are mostly from my backyard.
Yeah, no, good work. Good
And there's
work.
another one here, which was
Yeah, very nice.
on a trip to Canadian Tire. I discovered this petunia.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And
Very nice colors.
Slightly overexposed, but
Yeah.
beautiful.
yes. The thing that I found this like finding the beauty, I guess, is when I gaze into this flower, I noticed that it looks as though I'm gazing into the night. It gave me a perspective of the night sky.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
it
wow.
does. Yes.
I
It
like
has
I like
these
your image.
dots.
The image you just put in my head because of that.
Yeah, beautiful.
Exactly.
Night sky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like the night sky. And the thing is, I came home and I decided to look this up. I'm like, why does this flower look as though it has a night sky? And it's actually called the night sky petunia.
Oh,
Oh,
beautiful.
really?
It's a new
Yeah, really?
flower, and I think,
Yeah.
well, relatively new, and it was actually conceptualized by this Italian plant breeder. This lady.
Italiano.
Yes, this Italian lady, Antonella Capo, I think is her name. She actually like created or bred this type of petunia.
Yeah.
It's like I was amazed by it.
A nice capture anyway. A nice, a nice
I mean, I
finding.
didn't do any kind of like macro stacking.
no.
It's a bit unfocused or anything, but
Yeah. No, I just find it's a little bit overexposed.
yeah, this is straight out of the camera again, and I would have to.
Yeah. But you see, the meter reads more the center, which is dark,
Yeah.
Okay.
and it overexposed for the center.
Yeah.
But in doing that, it took away a little bit of the dark of the dark details that we could have had,
So how do you know like how to set your exposure when you're setting up a shot? Do you have like a light meter, or do you have?
Well, ideally, this was taken with a digital camera, I would
It
imagine.
was.
And so you usually have an exposure plus or minus half a stop or a third of a stop or one stop.
Okay.
Usually, especially if it's a Nikons usually have it. And I leave mine always at minus one half of a stop. So I'd rather get, because you're shooting positive, you're not shooting film.
Yeah.
So because you're shooting positive, you're better to underexpose slightly
Okay.
than to overexpose. When you're shooting film, it's the opposite way around. You're better to overexpose slightly
Okay.
than underexpose.
So
Unless you're shooting slides. If you're shooting slides, well, it's like a digital. You're underexposed slightly.
okay.
So ideally, yeah, go
No,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it says ideally you preset your camera to maybe one half stop minus, see? Or one third, depending on
There's a bracketing feature. Like,
a bracketing feature.
I think in my Nikon that lets me go like one stop or a third stop less or a third.
Oh, yeah, but then you have to take 3 pictures. You have to take one before,
Yeah.
one after, and one.
Oh, right.
Exposure,
That's
exposure
bracketed.
compensation.
Yeah, exposure compensation is what I do on mine. I always have
The other
mine at
thing that you can do.
minus one half. Yeah.
Is AJ frozen or thinking?
Yeah, it seems like it's frozen, huh?
Like,
Yeah.
Androwski.
You know what I can do is I can bring it to Broadway. Is that whenever you go to Broadway,
Okay.
it's there.
He's
oh,
moving.
there he
Or I
is.
can keep it here.
Yeah,
Whenever
okay.
we come over, it's here, or I can bring it, put it in Dave's office at the office. And we're gonna go Broadway.
I'm going to have to leave you for 2 minutes because I have to have a bathroom break.
Okay.
No problem.
We'll still be here.
Okay,
Okay, here's another shot. I don't know if I'm in the theme of finding the beauty in the mundane, but this is what I thought about. Like capturing things in
I think it's Pierce, because I just shook it. I got a bit of liquid come out of it.
Is there a TV
God, I think
on?
it's Pierce.
Yeah, it's
liquid
out
come
with
out of it.
Uncle Bob now. If AJ can sort of cap
Jeez.
his image, I think his computer is overloaded right now, so that's
I
why his
think
image is
so.
blocked.
Just saw it, man. Oh shit, I got a little liquid coming out of it.
Yeah, I think
put
AJ
Scotch tape on it.
is. Is he
Now I'm gonna
coming
get
back?
all my guys
No.
out. So yeah, I saw it. See the piercing, look, little liquid's coming out of it. See? Look, I'm doing for the camera.
Hmm.
The liquid. See the drop coming out of it? Oh, drop just dropped on the tip. See?
Uncle Bob, do you hear me?
I may have to store it
I
away.
think Uncle Bob
Or maybe I'll put a
left
Scotch
for a
tape on
bathroom
it.
break, and AJ is frozen,
I'll
so
put
I'm
Scotch
not
tape on
sure
Yeah.
what's happening.
I saw the dip in there. I can buy
Hopefully,
maybe
when
another.
Uncle Bob comes back,
Maybe I'll
AJ
buy another one to dip in there.
return.
Yeah. She doesn't let you play, yeah? That's what it is.
Let me go
Yeah,
to-
that's right.
Well, I took another
You're
one
not going to school?
again in my backyard.
Ah, there's no school on Monday. I'm not pop fucking go. Okay, it's my turn here. Let me see.
Where I
Pop,
kind of
Emma's
have
going
like
to school. Emma's
branches,
going
and
to
I have
Monday.
Okay, so are we.
an
So we're
animal
going to
coming
school.
into the
I'm gonna
sea.
go Monday.
Oh, I think Uncle Bob is back.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. If you don't go to school, maybe you can go for sure.
Hi, Uncle
I'll
Bob.
put a Scotch tape on it. If not, maybe
AJ
I'll
froze
buy
and we
another
hear
one.
the TV very loud.
But when I look at it,
Hello?
that's one. But
Yeah,
Hello.
Bob, I think you're having your son,
But
his
then I'm bringing it away. Like I said,
sound
I'll
is
put
coming in
Scotch
too
tape on it.
strong.
It's coming in too strong? Okay, hold
Gonna
on.
block the hole there.
Okay. Now is it better?
Okay, so now I got all my guys out.
Yeah, we're
Just
hearing
gotta
the
see
full
what the hell I'm doing
conversation.
with these fellas.
Nick,
Is it
Nick,
possible?
can you
is
go
it
in the other
possible
room?
that
They're here?
Okay, I'm not gonna talk.
Yeah. It's
is it possible you have another microphone?
not really. It's on here. See, it's
Okay, but
How about if
you
I
have a
hold it like
microphone
that?
on your laptop? Is it maybe using the one on the laptop, and maybe that's why we can hear the whole-
I wonder because usually when you plug this in, it's supposed to shut off the one on the laptop per se.
Okay, just to do an experiment, put your finger on the microphone that you're using right now with the earphones and try
Okay.
talking. We'll see if it If it
Muffles
cut-
it.
Yeah.
Now does it muffle it?
Okay, remove the finger.
Hello? Hello?
It doesn't seem like it's changing.
Doesn't change nothing?
What?
No.
I don't hear the TV anymore though, right? I think
Hello? Hang on.
I believe AJ paused the recording because I have a red logo in the corner.
Yeah.
it could be.
Hold on.
Not really sure what happened.
I'll tell you, it's the last time I'm gonna do it on the laptop though. Usually I do it on my computer. No, it picks up too much the exterior sounds. Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you hear my son now? No? Yes.
No, I don't hear it
Not
now.
as much. Is he talking or is he not talking?
Nick, do you want to talk there now? Nicholas? Talk a bit. I just want to hear if
AJ's
we hear
coming
you.
back.
Nick? Yeah, hello?
Anybody want to talk?
Yeah, do you hear him?
Yeah, in the very, very background.
Very,
Am I
very
back?
background.
Yeah,
Yeah,
AJ, we can
yeah.
hear
Are
you.
you back,
Okay.
AJ? We
Sorry about
missed you.
My
Yeah, no
com-
problem.
damn computer. Hold on now. Exit full screen.
Andrew, when we plug in these extra things, how about now? You see me? Oh no, you don't see me. Okay, this covers the camera.
What did I
Okay.
miss?
AJ, what's happening right now is we can hear Uncle Bob's son to either the television or he's talking or something like that to someone, and it gets louder sometimes. And because of that, the screen of Uncle Bob takes over you as someone talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where we're wondering if maybe when he plugs in his earphones, he only has the function earphones, but the mic is through the laptop. That's what it gives me an impression.
Well, actually, see if you click on
Yeah.
your
Volume.
the microphone.
On the microphone here, yeah.
There's a little arrow up.
Okay.
No, not on the microphone on your wire on your screen.
You're on the safe spot right now.
Spetta.
I like that.
There's a little
Okay.
arrow to the right of the microphone.
Yeah.
When you click on it, what does it say for select a microphone?
Same as system.
And what's it say in the brackets?
Microphone Realtek R audio.
Okay, that's yeah. And what do you have? Do you have another microphone there?
Well, on the earset, have an.
No, but in the list where it says select a microphone, can you select another microphone?
There's only one says same as system,
Or
microphone Realtek blah blah blah, and then on the top it's microphone Realtek blah blah blah.
okay, no, okay, so that means
Same
that
one.
the microphone, il voit pas le micro de ton fil.
Okay, I understand. Yeah.
Ouais.
Okay, so that means that it's taking the microphone. Yeah, same as system. I mean, I'm even went into the settings and it doesn't see it at all.
But what you can do if you want to is mute your microphone.
Yeah.
Okay. So click on the mic to mute it. And when you want to talk, hold down the space bar on your keyboard.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay.
But you got to
Okay,
hold when you talk.
no problem.
Yeah.
It's basically a PTT, push to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like in the olden days in the army.
Exactement, c'est ça.
Okay, that's good. No problem. But like I was telling Mark, next time I'm going to stay on my computer because on my computer I had a lot more control than here.
Okay. So this is a nice one. This is I haven't seen this one.
Yeah. So you're once again, I guess I'm looking for there's a mundane scene, just a bunch of branches without leaves, and suddenly there's like an animal or another object that enters the scene. And what I liked about this is that the squirrel appears to take the shape of the branches with the tail.
Yeah.
So that's what I was trying to catch. Unfortunately, there was the hydro wires in the way of this.
Yeah, but it looks like honestly, it looks like you're looking through the blinds in the window.
Okay.
I never would have thought that those were hydro lines.
Oh, yeah, that's sort of, it's true. Actually, now that you mention it, it does look like horizontals, right?
Yeah.
You're looking through a window.
I got the same impression too, yeah.
Yeah, and it is right out the window. It's like, I just
But
noticed
even at that,
that.
I mean, the horizontal lines kind of play with the vertical line of the tree.
Okay.
You like vignettes though, don't you?
Yeah, I think there's a feature in my Nikon that does these kind of things. And I
Okay.
was kind of experimenting with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they appear too dark. Or I don't know if here the vignette adds or takes away from the photo.
Which Nikon do you have, Mila?
That's a D5500.
Okay, I have a D5300 too, yeah. It's about the same thing.
Yeah, it has a couple of effects, and these are more of my earlier shots. They weren't taken this year. They were taken when I first got this camera.
Okay.
But yeah, I went through to try to find something that fit the theme that AJ wanted to explore. So I went through like
Gummy skills, gummy bear skills.
Oh my God, I have to go back to see what all the themes were from that. That was, don't forget the channel. This
no, I
group
mean
was.
the theme of tonight for
Oh,
the.
okay.
I said I was looking through all my pictures to try to find things that fit the theme of finding the beauty in the mundane.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, I haven't finished processing my frugal photos yet, and I was looking into to see if I could pick one over from that roll of film, but actually, I should wait until I post them to the frugal film project before I start showing them off and stuff. But let me see, do I have something else?
Well, I may have one while we're waiting.
Okay, this
Go
is
ahead.
this is my last one, and I'll get off.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
This is
Now,
another shot I took. It's actually from a point and shoot Sony, and it was a regular winter day, and I noticed that the frost on my window created the shape of a star.
yeah,
And in the background were some Christmas lights that were still on, and it kind of played with the frost on the window as though it like kind of illuminated the star from the
right.
background. So I don't know,
Nice job.
Yeah.
I thought it was an interesting thing to notice. Maybe people won't know.
Well, that's what I was going to say is nice catch.
Yeah, it was, and you had to be at the correct perspective for it to appear this way. Like
Right.
if you moved a bit to the right or the left or back, it didn't have this kind of effect of
Right.
an illuminated star. And it's just, this is like something that appeared on my window with the background of the lights. So that's what I thought about when you mentioned this theme about.
And the color is the lighting or the chosen white balance you chose?
Oh boy, it was a point and shoot
it's
camera.
a warm.
So
Oh, it's a point and shoot camera.
it
Okay.
was a point. This one is a Sony point and shoot camera that I have. It's a digital, like an older one before I even got my Nikon.
Okay.
But so I'm not sure exactly what the
It
white
almost looks
balance
sepia.
was. It does. Because the lights in the background actually are not they weren't pure white. They're like, I don't know if it's off-white, the actual light bulbs.
Yeah. They were kind of brownish orange.
Yeah, they were like kind of, beige, kind of off-white,
Okay.
yellowish, maybe a bit golden.
Right.
Do these cameras have an automatic white balance?
Normally, the point and shoots all have automatic
I
white
think there
balances.
I don't know if there was a setting in there because I seem to recall going through the settings. What I did exactly, that's another thing. Would the actual image have the information? I mean, I could go into
Actually, just would it show you on the press Alt Enter?
I may have cropped this one, or I may have like, I don't know if it's still the original. Alt enter.
Yeah.
Alt
Alt
and
enter.
enter.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything. Alt
Wait,
enter.
wait for it. Wait for it.
Oh.
Wait for it. There you go. And okay, this was a crop.
Yeah, this one was cropped. So I have to go back into the camera itself and like hope
Exactly.
that it would tell me what kind of white.
But it is an interesting shot.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have to share for tonight.
Oh, thank you very much for your share.
I'll give the stage to the Matt or Bob or AJ. I'm sure that they'll have excellent pictures to share. I mean,
Mila, you have interesting pictures. What your eye picks up, I don't have the imagination. The abstract is something I have a lot of trouble with, and I can't seem to get it, you know? And I see some of the pictures people take, and wow, where'd you come up with that, you know? I'm concrete. So it's like basically as a street photographer, it's one of my weaknesses. So
Well,
that's why going out, huh?
It's just not developed enough yet.
Yeah. So basically, sometimes when I'm taking walks like we'll be doing tomorrow, I may not be taking pictures, but I'll see what you're looking at to understand. And by having exposition like that, maybe I'll develop it a little more. Here, I'll try to share screen on something. Okay, this one. Do we see it?
Hang on, no, not yet.
Not
It
yet.
takes
Okay,
a couple
sorry.
seconds.
I'm supposed to say share.
Yes, that would help.
So basically, this is the minimalist and things like that. It's a park bench. I was passing by. I liked the design of the metal, and it got me, so that's why I took it. But it's not something that I tend to go for. You know, I'm an animal photographer or something like that. And give me 1 second. I'll try to refine it again.
Don't you pull out a rat.
No, I've cut on those. People are not too happy with them. Écureuil. Écureuil. So for me, that's
That's a nice shot, Mark.
That's very nice.
What's wrong with that shot?
That's an expert.
It's a squirrel. There was cake in front of it, and I noticed he was a very young squirrel. So I called it first anniversary, premier anniversaire. The cake is there. Say?
A nice shot, and those twigs in the background, they fill it beautifully.
Yeah.
So for me, those are easier pictures. But when I go out with you guys and I see you take your street shots or photo paysager or something like that, I'm not there. It's like my pictures usually okay, how do I come back out of the share screen? Okay.
Just Alt S.
Alt S. Alt S. Okay. I'm not to that level. I've tried taking a couple of photo paysage, and it's like for me, when I start working on them, it's like, ugh, say. So I don't have that. So that's why while hanging out with you guys, that's where I learn, and that's what I see, and then I learn to judge, and maybe eventually it's something I can start doing, you know.
I'll tell you one thing, that when I get into a rut about, you know, what to shoot and what composition and stuff like that, believe it or not, a lot of photo magazines, I go back to my old photo books. You don't see them here, but if I turn the camera a little bit, I got Uncle Bob's photo books here. The Time Life. I'm constantly going back to these, you know, to these books here to just refresh my memory on, you know, ways of seeing things. You know, the biggest qualm I have specifically photographers who teach and come up with stuff like, you know, I can teach the mechanics of light and the mechanics of the camera, but you have to be born with an artistic eye. If you ask me personally, that is a total and absolute falsehood. It's not that you're born with an artistic eye, it's that from a very young age, you've been sensitized to art, right? I taught people composition, and I've taught people who are 20 years older than I am how to see the world in an artistic way. It just depends on how much they themselves not apply, but how they, well, in English versus in French, expose themselves to art. You know, when I look at my kids, at the age of 3, the moment they were able to pick up a crayon and start coloring, they're exposed to art. And evidently, I come from an artistic family also, so you know, it's part of our life. You know, not everybody has that opportunity at that young of an age, but if there's anything I've learned in photography is that it takes practice. You know, 30 years ago, my old man, when he put away his camera and only took it out every other year or every 2 years when it was time to go on vacation with his girlfriend, who would he call to remind him how to shoot a paysage, a landscape versus a portrait? Well, he'd call me, and I'm like, "Pa, come on, seriously, who?" Besides Uncle Bob, who did I steal the cameras off of to be able to do photography when I was in school? He says, "Hey, listen, between your age and my age, and you could teach everybody in Montreal how to do photography, you can at least tell me." I says, "It's not the fact that I tell you and that I have to tell. It's every year it's the same question. How do I do a portrait, and what do I do to get the landscape?" It's like, come on, pa. It's
No,
but
it's something you have to see.
yeah, but it's also something you have to practice. And if you don't, if you know, see, you can't see him. Yeah, you can. I have a collection of photo books over here that are made by a guy I think he's in New Zealand. Okay. And it's called Framework. It's called Frameworks. No, it's called Frames. Sorry. It's called Frames. And he showcases anywhere from 8 to 10 or 12 photographers per book, just looking at different ways that people see light, different ways that people, place their primary, secondary, and tertiary elements. That in itself will bring you to that artistic eye. If there's anything I tell anybody when it comes to photography, don't get discouraged. You'll get there if you practice. Evidently, that's what a métier, a craft is that you practice and you practice and practice until you get it. Anybody have something to add to that?
I think a lot of people will get into photography, and their best shots to come out early are the things in life they were exposed to and they really loved. I've always worked with animals. I used to be an exterminator, and I've always found beauty in animals, even if it was an insect. A lot of people would say, "Wow, it's gross." Rats, a lot of people, the image of something being unclean and things like that. But when you take a look at the animal, the way it functions, the way it lives, how it learns, it's an incredible animal. So maybe it's easier for me to get the image out and the beauty of the image because I'm fond of them. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm explaining myself wrong, but I used to do karate. So when I took karate pictures, a lot of people would come back and ask, "Hey, I really like that one." Like you try not to just get the pose of where you have two people practicing karate or standing right beside them. You try to get some action moves and things like that. So I don't know. Maybe the other people might want to get into it. What were your best pictures, and were they something that you loved or you learned in your life?
Is that a question to the group?
Yeah, why not? Go for it.
Wow.
You said that you took pictures of your daughter doing horse riding.
I have a
There is
lot of,
something by being there and being exposed with your daughter to horses and things like that. Is it easier for you to bring out the beauty of the animal?
well, you see, my daughter doing horseback riding, my son doing his karate, the little one doing her dance, which I haven't had a chance to shoot yet, for me are just more opportunities for me to practice my craft, right? Evidently, no matter what it is that I shoot, I try to get the best image possible. I try to get the best story to represent. And in the end, no matter what, it teaches me to get the message from here to here pour déclencher, to trigger my shutter at the right moment to capture that particular movement, that motion. But I also leave myself enough latitude to be able to emphasize certain things. Example, hold on, let me think. Where do I have it? Because everything's in my Lightroom. And hang on, do I have any? Where?
So
Yes, I do.
meanwhile, as Camila can answer, sorry,
Go
as
ahead.
Camila can answer the question. What were her best pictures, and was it something that she was exposed all her life to when she took them?
It's a deep question.
I know, but
Really
I've
makes you
noticed you studied a lot for l'astronomie puis tout ça, and you tend to have pictures that have stars in them everywhere. Example, your flower, the lights were and the le frima on the window. So I tend to see that's a recurring theme for you, and it's something that I believe you studied while you were in school.
Well, yeah, I did take an astrophysics course, and then I did follow like an amateur group for a while. So it is something, or I just love doing presentation. It is something that is recurrent in my life, and because it's recurrent, it allows me to capture, I mean, pick that up when it's in a scene, you know, or notice it more often. It's almost like I have a bias toward noticing things that remind me of a passion that I have. And then because of that, I guess it comes as a maybe an instinct or a more natural reflex for me to want to photograph it. So I think if you're more exposed to something, you're more sensitive to something that reminds you of it, and then it's more natural to capture it, is what I think. Maybe from a
Thank you. I think
psychological point of view.
you've answered it more than I. You brought it out basically because you're exposed to it. You have more of an infinity to it. AJ, I think you want to say something, or I believe.
No, I'm
Okay.
still searching. Sorry. See, what about you?
I got three mundane pictures to show you. How do I do that again?
Alt S. First, open the window where the photos are. So double click on one of the photos. And then once you've double clicked on it, Alt S and choose that window and press share. Where is that photo? You find it?
I found it, but it's not doing it. That's what I don't understand. So I opened the picture.
Yeah. Then do share screen.
Where would I do that?
On your Zoom window.
On my Zoom window.
Or press Alt S.
Okay, hold on a second. Share screen. There's my Zoom window.
It's on the control bar on the bottom beside security.
Why am I not? Okay, control. Share screen. Okay, here. Okay. This window here.
You got it. That's it.
There we go.
The jalapenos.
Ooh.
Yeah, jalapeno peppers. Yeah. Can I go back and forth here? Hold on. Yeah. See, this is what I wanted to show you. When I started photographing this, I was looking for something
Yeah, 260.
I was looking at something mundane, but I love jalapeno peppers, so I wanted to. Is my speaker on? Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and the only shot that I really consider to be good is this one here. This one that's there. See,
Yeah.
because this
Okay. I wasn't moving.
wasn't too bad, but the one that tells what I wanted to tell is this one here. And it's because of the tone, because of the thing. It brings your eye to the light on the to the light parts on the
pepper.
you
Yeah.
know? So that's one of the shots I
Okay, I
wanted to show
noticed
you.
the seeds. Okay,
The
I don't
seed,
know. It's drawn to
the little
seeds.
seeds are there. But and the other one I wanted to show you was this. Hold on.
There it is. I found it. Okay.
You see, that looks nice. The previous picture, sorry.
This was the other one. This was the other one I wanted to show. You see, this here was just as I was walking to the boat. One, I don't know why, but because I think the plank is a little lighter than the other two planks beside it, it attracted my eye.
Yeah.
And that's why I photographed it, But that's why I say, the mundane things around us all have something to photograph.
Yeah, it's like a nice texture.
Okay, this is how do I unshare it now? Okay, stop
Just Alt S
share here on
again.
the top. Yeah, okay, stop share. No, it was just to to show you a few ways of looking at everything around you, because like you both said, yes, it's true. We tend to photograph things that are familiar to us.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you see, in my life, I learned to love life very young, and I love to look at things and to find things to photograph. You know what I mean? And it could be anywhere. So,
Absolutely. And Mark, to go back to one of my favorite photos, and this dates back to 2019. Hold on a sec. Coming to it. Where is it? I want this one. Here we go. Oh, does everybody see it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
This was a shot that I did in a photo walk. C'est photo de rue, street photography in Montreal, in Chinatown. And a lot of people ask me, well, I get both sides of the conversation. This image is blurry, right? What impressed me was what this cook was doing in the window facing the street of the restaurant. He was moving his hands so fast, he was stretching the pasta for his soup that he was making, that was what impressed me. It wasn't necessarily him. It was the fact that he was moving so fast, stretching out these pastas the way that he was doing it. Some people don't like this because evidently to them, this is blurry. But I was using, and Uncle Bob, you can probably, confirm with me too, is that after you get past the light, you get to play with time.
absolutely,
Right?
absolutely.
And time has an effect on light itself. Specifically when it comes to especially wildlife photographers. A lot of the time they're so concentrated on freezing motion that when you add a little bit of motion in there, it just adds that much more context to the story. If I would have frozen this gentleman and frozen his hands, it would have been what? Is that pasta that he's holding, or is it rope that he's holding? What is he holding? You know what I mean? It don't forget too is that photography is your interpretation of what you've seen.
Yeah.
It's not what other people expect to see. And this is specifically where I am adamant about that, in a big way, the internet has diluted photography so much that everybody thinks it's just pushing a button. You have to interpret your scene. You have to interpret your light to bring out that story of what you want to represent in your image.
Mhm.
This is one of my favorite shots. And I don't have, I mean, listen, you know, I've got a hard drive over here screaming at me because I got to add more space to it for all the photos I have digitalized since 97. And now I'm digitalizing stuff from freaking the 60s now. You know what I mean?
Wow.
AJ, I love this picture because if you take a look at the left-hand side of the gentleman, it's all restaurant. And
Yeah,
if you take a look at the right-hand side, it's all street.
exactly.
Basically, it's like the street vendor, you know?
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
on the right hand side, there's almost like a reflection or a ghost of someone else.
Yes,
Taking a
because there were
picture.
people behind me,
Okay.
right? And I'm on the outside of the window looking in,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
I'm
The
not
reflection
saying,
is actually the street because
yeah,
the arm that's there is the guy who's working with that guy.
that's right over
Oh,
here.
okay.
That's the guy
Yeah.
inside. I think he was placing forks and knives or something like that
Yeah.
in the restaurant. But this here is a reflection from behind me,
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
right? I'll show you another shot. Actually, I can probably
So
get
now
it.
you see this is 360 vision, AJ. I thought you said you didn't have 360 vision.
Well, see, the thing is to be able to, you know, and this is where, you know, even Uncle Bob had mentioned it before, is that, you know, as a photographer, you learn to observe and you become more sensitive to the things going on around you, right?
Right.
And it's not to say that I saw all of this out of the corner of my eye. It's that I saw him doing what he was doing. And as I was looking into the camera, I was noticing, well, wait a minute now, if I underexpose it a little bit more, I get to see more of what's going on behind me too,
Okay.
right?
Oh, yeah.
And that just comes with practice. I mean, here's another one. Where is it? Here's, okay, one of my very rare selfies. Okay, I call this my Vivian Mayer, right? That's a reflection of me in the window outside shooting the two place settings on the table in the restaurant.
Wow.
And at the focal point is literally this glass.
Cool.
Andrew, this shot I never saw, and it's a beautiful shot. It's an excellent shot, in fact.
That's excellent. Yeah.
Thank you.
No, honestly, I
Don't
never
say
saw
it because
that.
I'm your nephew.
No, I'm not. I'm not. It's an excellent shot. In fact, I don't know the guy there that's in the picture. For all I know, it could be Mac, except for the
It
hat.
can be anyone
Exactly.
except we know the hat.
Exactly.
Exactly,
about
we
to
know the
say.
hat.
Exactly.
Hey,
No,
Uncle Bob,
it's an
a little
excellent
side story. Have you ever tried AJ's hat?
No, Mac, I have my own Harrison Ford Indiana Jones hat.
Just a sec. I want to get, where did I want to hold on. I want to
AJ,
just
you were talking about animal photography, trying to freeze everything.
Yeah.
If you go on your site, I took one of the pictures from the Mandarin duck that I put, and you have the duck that's mostly still except for the back paw. So
hold on just a sec. On
non,
the
non, mais
site.
après ça, after that one, après celle-là, là.
Well, this one here, this is another one that I use in a lot of my trainings to show exactly what playing with time does. And because I don't have the frozen image, but this is La Rivière du Nord. And I shot this in, when did I shoot this one? I shot this one also in 2019. And it was in the month of February-ish, I think. Yeah, no, December. No, this was in December 2019. And typically, La Rivière du Nord il est très violent in the winter because evidently the water's coming down from the north, right?
Yeah. Can you imagine if there was a wind with that? The trees would be just fuzzy a little bit. It would be so beautiful.
Well, believe it or not, that is an 11-minute image.
Yeah, so there
And
was
there
no
was
wind
a
at all.
breeze. And there was a
Wow.
breeze, but it was an intermittent breeze.
Okay.
And what the 11-minute I found out later did was it brought more information into the highlight, because this is a digital image, by the way. But if you
Okay.
look here in the forest, you can see through the forest
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
that at 1/200th of a second, this is all black.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the water that you see here
Mm-hmm.
is as white as the snow here in the foreground. And that river
Yeah.
is not white. That river in the winter like that is yellow.
Yeah, but it's reflecting a lot of stuff in the movement.
Exactly. Well, because it's raising up a lot of dirt, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But and I get a lot of, I still get to this day, this is 2019, to this day I still have my my director at the store who tells me, AJ, nobody's going to take an 11-minute shot, not in broad daylight. I says, yeah, but since I've been doing this excursion, everybody wants to try my filters and everybody wants to try the 11-minute shot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Evidently, I never would have thought of this if I had not have tried it first. Say, I have a -10 and I have a -6 neutral density filter. What happens if I stack the two together? What's that going to give me? Oh my God, 11 minutes. What's 11 minutes going to do to my shot? And now I shoot these types of shots, believe it or not, with urban architecture, because at 11 minutes, nobody's going to stand in front of your camera for 11 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
So when I have cars moving and I have pedestrians moving around the building or whatever, this erases it completely.
But if you can get a model to stand for 30 seconds,
yes,
and shoot a street shot, it would be fantastic. But the model has to really stay there and not move.
Absolutely.
I have to leave you for a few minutes.
No worries. Mark, did you have Melina, did you have any other photos that you wanted to share with us?
Well, I found one. I don't know if it's within a theme, but it has water like yours. It's not an 11. I think it's a 1-second shot.
Yeah, that's okay.
I don't know, this
I'm going to see if I can find something else.
You see this one?
Hold on a sec. Yeah.
Okay, so this was in the Rivière des Prairies.
Okay.
I think I did a 1-second shot, and the aperture was really small, maybe something like f22.
Okay.
And apparently it's supposed to make your water, I guess, more smooth. So anyway, this duck was, or I don't know what. Actually, I'll ask Mark. He's the animal expert. What are we looking at?
I believe it'd be a goose.
It's a
looks like
goose.
Canada goose, yeah.
Okay.
Just standing there, it was on a rock. So I guess maybe you have some kind of water motion. But I liked it that because it was taken during a sunset, it looks as though it's standing in snow rather than in the water or in a river.
But
Not sure.
I think it's because the background is the bird itself is in contre jour. It's backlit. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. It had a
So-
sunset it had a sunset behind it.
Exactly. And the dog, sorry, the duck, wow, no.
The goose.
The goose itself.
Duck, goose.
The goose itself is a silhouette.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
It's a silhouette because the camera could only see so much difference in light. And here there's so much difference that because there's so much light coming off the water and it's behind the goose, the camera can't make out the two different tones of light. So what it does is it gives you an average. And that's the thing that you have to understand, is that a camera can only see an average amount of light.
Okay.
For whatever the dynamic range of that camera is. It's not like our eyes, and the computer in the camera is not like the brain that we have in our head behind our eyes. where, first of all, our eyes are much more sensitive to light than any camera is. And our brain is very, 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 very quick to adjust so that, I mean, I'm looking at you here in the camera, but just off to the left here, I can see into the family room across the hall from my open door in my office, because my brain is adjusting for all of that
Yeah, okay.
instantly. When a camera can't do that, that's where the technique of HDR comes from, is that we
Okay.
shoot multiple exposures, and from that we use a program to be able to just keep the parts of the photo that are properly exposed and merge it all together into one particular shot.
It will work if the camera had an exposure setting for each pixel.
Yes.
You see,
Mhm.
right now, your eye at the moment has that. It has an exposure setting because your
Okay.
brain says, okay, the left part of your eye is going to be f6, f5.6. The right side needs f1.2. You know what I mean? And it adjusts the whole scene. But right now, the camera only has one setting, so it has to decide which one it's going to use.
Okay.
And right now, it's see, that's a beautiful shot. I would have given it a little more contrast myself, but it's a nice shot, though.
Yeah.
Said it's on, yeah. VG said it appeared, it like came out as a silhouette because
Yeah.
of the backlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sitting on or standing on a rock in a river. It gives an impression, as though there's snow in the scene, or because
That's digital. It's a digital shot, Andrew.
This is digital.
Yeah, it's digital. Nice shot.
So that's for now. That's what I found. Anyone else?
On a sec, I'm coming up to. I got a couple here that I can show you. Hold on a sec. From my weddings in the past. Wait, if I can just find. Hold on. Well, here actually, you want to talk about talk about mundane. Here's an orchid. Let it come up.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And
Nice.
this was shot. Evidently, this was shot at the reception. Right.
Right.
And, it's this whole kerfuffle over here that interested me. It was to see the colors of the curtain behind in the water, and, focuses on this orchid here. See, what do you think? It's a little too busy?
Oh, it's not too busy.
Your mic's off, see?
By what you've exposed me, AJ, I think it would be too busy.
And you
Yeah.
see, then I have another one over here.
Part of the orchid that's missing.
Oh, I like this.
This one's much better. Yeah.
Yes.
I like it
See this?
because it's centered. I
Oh
guess.
my God, this was shot with my Minolta. This was shot in 2005.
Oh, wow.
This was with a 6-megapixel camera.
But the shot is a lot better.
Yeah, this one is much better.
Yeah, the shot is a lot better. If you go back to the other one, I can tell you how I would crop it, because see this one here. Yeah, go a little bit more. Yeah, go up. Yeah. See, what I find that's missing on it is the tip of that flower.
This one?
Yeah. And this is well, now it's a little too close. Yeah. If you have this and the tip of the flower, it's become a lot better. Now you went too high. You got to go down a little bit.
Oh, because I was taking out this.
Yeah. Well, that still says something.
Okay.
It says that it's a part of something bigger.
Okay, I see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because it's a chandelier. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that le bout qui manque of that flower, I think plays a lot personally now. I
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Hold
but
on.
otherwise, see crop like this, it's a pretty nice shot, to my opinion.
One of my marquee shots.
Yeah.
When it came to wedding, Hold on. Hold on. I gotta get out of this one.
Okay.
And I'm gonna this one here. And this was totally fluke in the sense that I had no idea that our DJ had exploded a confetti cannon not 2 feet beside me.
Nice timing. Nice timing.
Okay.
Nice shot.
You see the cannon to the left.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. On this one, you see it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
it doesn't. Yeah. Even on this one. But
see this one here. This one is because they moved. So
yeah,
I have the backlit.
Yeah.
And this one over here, she moved in front of it.
Yeah.
Now, believe it or not, I don't know if it's going to show me, but this shot was shot at a 40th of a second.
Well, it's a nice shot. It's a nice shot. Both of them are nice shots.
It's the flash that froze everything here.
Yeah, absolutely.
40th, 1250, yeah.
Yeah.
And
But they both give off two different I'm looking for the word. They give off two different types. They're both beautiful, but in different ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you. See what I should have done also. If it comes up, yeah. Crop. And give me this. Right there's that in itself, I think, is even better.
That's better.
To
But
take out the cannon.
Your eye automatically goes to that light. You
Yes.
know,
Exactly.
you know what I mean?
This one over here is subtler.
Yeah.
This one's subtler.
The colors come out more too.
Yeah, the colors come out more, and your eye isn't drawn as much to the center light. It's drawn to the kiss.
C'est ça.
You know what I mean?
This is a good one.
And then this ended up going to this.
Excellent shot.
Father-daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, this was something I was playing with. This was not mine. He's not my videographer, but he's the videographer that we worked with. His name is Dean. Fantastic kid. Young guy. Well knowledgeable, and the guy's an amazing videographer.
Hey, Jake, freeze a second.
Hey,
go back to your videographer.
Yeah, Dean. Yeah.
Okay, now this is a technical question I'm asking. Beautiful picture, except part of the camera is missing, and to me it seems like it's important with them. Am I wrong?
To tell the story, I agree.
But yeah, but this image technically was to be this. Because he was looking for a profile shot.
Okay.
Okay. And even though it looks like, and this is, there's no, il y a pas de montage là-dedans. Okay.
It does look like a montage, but that's because of the light.
Exactly. Because the flash I was using, I use it in such a close proximity of him at such a low power that there's so much of a difference between the background and him in the foreground.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, this is one of the reception halls that had the poorest light I have ever seen. It was LED lighting. It was purple, blue. It was terrible. Here's another one with a star bright in the back.
Oh, nice.
And all these images, where is it?
Are these images at all treated, or are they straight out of the
they're
camera?
as is, straight out of the camera.
As is.
Yep.
Which camera did you use?
Oh, this was with my 7. This was with a 7R Mark. This is a 7R Mark II, Sony 7R Mark II, which is a 40 megapixel camera, which is not to say that it's important or anything like that. And this was shot, when was this shot? This was shot in 2018. Yeah.
How come? There's like a shadow on the dad's face or the dad's head. You know what I mean?
Here?
Yeah,
That's her shadow.
yeah, it's her shadow. But
Yeah.
Oh, because
it means the light came from right to left.
well, no, it's because on this dance floor there were 4 projectors,
Okay.
right? So I'm shooting against the projector here in the corner, and there
Okay.
was another projector down over this side over here pointing at her.
Yeah.
Because what
overpowered
I
his
do
flash.
at this point,
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
come on.
It overpowered your flash.
Yeah. Well, because the projectors are also moving, right?
Yeah.
So they're kind of oscillating and moving around. And what I told Santo at the time was I just need the 2 projectors to be pointing at the bride and the father of the bride.
Yeah.
And I'll try to get my perspective the way that I want it. But here what I was really trying to get was to get this starlight behind them.
No, and that part's beautiful.
Can't find my ships, huh?
What I light wise, technically, I'm talking
Yeah.
now, not the thing, is if you look at the guy's clothes, there's about 4 different tones of light on them
Yes.
because of the different lights that hit him in different ways.
Exactly.
And her dress, at the bottom of her dress, up to about her waist, has the same thing. It has 3-4 different
Yeah.
things because of the light, the way it hit him. And I would have thought that your flash would have taken, priority over these. You know what I mean?
No, well, see, that's the thing is, in this type of shot, I've learned that's where the shutter speed, see, the shutter speed here, okay, the 1/40th of a second captures the ambient light.
Yes.
And my flash, all it did, I just used enough power on my flash to freeze the 2 of them. Because
Yeah.
they're within
exactly.
15 feet from me,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So my flash, I use my flash as my shutter and the
Okay.
actual shutter to balance out all this
the
beautiful
background
light around them.
Yeah. No, I
Evidently,
understand.
you do get some distortions, like, and I'm the more I'm looking at this, I'm
Yeah.
seeing this shadow here
Yeah, and
more
that
than
shadow.
I see this shadow here.
Yeah. Well, this the one on the back, it looks like the light has refracted. It turned.
C'est ça. But but the thing is
which
that
is a rare
they're
thing.
moving,
No, yeah, I get that. No, I get that.
Right.
You see, and that shadow that you pointed out doesn't come from the back; it comes from the front.
because there were 2 behind me.
Yeah. No, I understand. I get it. No,
Wait a minute. That is, which one is that? That's 0474. 0474. Okay, so wait a minute. There's 2 more here.
Okay.
There's this one before that. So that was the bride and the groom.
Well, here's a better example because except for her arm,
Yeah.
the rest is balanced.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Light wise.
And the one before that.
This is actually one of the nicest. Yeah, it's one of the nicest for the balance of light.
For the balance of light.
Yeah.
Even though you have this light source behind them.
Yeah. It didn't bother your light source.
Exactly. And if I would have moved to have this light behind them, it would have totally given a completely different lighting on them.
Absolutely.
And Uncle, I swear to God, I still do not understand how you shot these with Kodachrome 64. I do not understand how you shot these types of images with Kodachrome 64.
Because in those days,
I'm at 1250.
We took the picture, right?
Yeah.
We prayed. We had big flashes. We took a picture and we prayed. We took a picture and we prayed.
It's all black magic, AJ.
Oh yeah, it's all voodoo.
The worst that ever happened to me, and I learned after that, The worst that ever happened to me is I didn't roll the film properly because every time now, since that happened to me,
Yeah.
I was at it wasn't a wedding, it was a 90th anniversary
Okay.
for somebody's birthday. And the film, I got to 36 and then I got to 37, then I got to 38. And I said, yeah, quelque chose. You can have one or two shots more. But, when you get to 40, it's like at a minute.
Whoa.
I I go to spin my film, and the film hadn't cut in the
Okay.
and all those 40 pictures I took were never taken.
No.
Yeah, that happened to me. And I learned that after that, I never went out without two cameras.
Okay.
Because at least one I says, and I made sure that I always checked the rewind was ready to rewind when I would advance the film,
Right.
But I mean, these are things you learn,
Oh, he's muted.
These are, the things you learn, and I was like 18 years old. See?
Ben oui, ben oui.
Unfortunately, gentlemen, I'll have to say good night.
Yeah.
I have to prepare. I have to do
Oh,
a couple of
geez. We
things.
went past, ben oui, we went past the time. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, yeah, because we got to get up tomorrow morning,
Ben
right,
oui, ben
Mark?
oui. We got to get up early tomorrow.
See?
All right. I'm
yeah.
cutting out of here. Probably I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go down a little bit earlier. Usually there's I'll probably grab a coffee at Expectations on Notre Dame.
It's really
We're
Where are you
supposed to
gonna-
meet. We're supposed to
Supposed to
meet
meet
at
nine.
Notre Dame at Colon. What's it called? The Nelson's Column at
In
Plage
front of l'Hôtel de
d'Arcartier.
Ville.
At Plage d'Arcartier, yeah. And just to the west, there's about 2 blocks west. There's an Expectations
Where do you park when you go down there?
on Notre Dame.
I can park on Notre Dame?
Yeah, you can park on Notre Dame, and voyons, stationnement payante is from 1 o'clock.
Okay, so we can park and no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
I gotta go load my direct paper now.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm gonna bring the pinhole because I really want to fool around with the pinhole, but I don't know if I'm gonna bring the. I think I'm gonna wait to do the glass plates.
Well, I'm gonna bring the Nikon, and I'm bringing my Miranda as a film camera.
Okay. And I'm bringing my Frugal Film February roll with me. See if there's anything for that to shoot.
Okay. All right then.
Sounds good, everybody.
An enjoyable night, and it was nice to see everybody.
Nice
And,
for you guys to join me. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
No problem.
and,
Next
we'll
one
be
will
seeing ya.
be the second Saturday again on April.
Yeah.
I'm actually
okay.
working on a couple of videos, so I'm gonna have a few videos to post up in the next couple of days.
Okay, no problem.
Alrighty.
Basically,
No problem. Whenever
Fun.
you're ready, we're ready.
Fantastic. Bonne soirée à tous.
Bye bye, everybody.
soirée.
Have a good
Merci,
night.
Ada.
Bye bye.
Ciao.
Bonne nuit à tout le monde. Bye bye.
Oh.